What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick and I want to welcome you back for another one of my music video reviews. This one is to the newest song from the girl group called Daya, I believe. Yeah, Daya, that is true. And the name of the song is, of course, as you know, On the Road. And I don't know, this group's not that bad so far. They're not terrible, so we're going to check it out and see what this is all about. All right, so we're into the first like half of the first verse here, and I'm getting, which group is this? Which group do they remind me of? Which group are they kind of trying to, not really trying to copy, but are they doing that is similar? GFriend, that's the one that pops to my mind. Also Lovely's, but I know that's not Lovely's, but GFriend to an extent is what I'm feeling right now, which is not bad. You know, it's all about how you do it, right? It's not really that bad. I mean, it's not a bad song either. It's actually kind of, you know, good. It's definitely enjoyable. I'm liking it. Although, I mean, like, I'm not in love with it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not in love with it. Pretty good so far. Can't say too much that is bad about it. I do actually kind of like the choreography with this, with especially during the chorus part of it as well. Actually, kind of the choreo is pretty cool as well. Definitely enjoying it. It's very entertaining to an extent. So, you know, that's always cool to have that aspect, to, you know, take into consideration with the song and the music video. That was a okay. So yeah, that was a relatively nice song from them. I actually kind of enjoyed that. I mean, at the moment, it's not really like, you know, a song that's my super favorite that I've ever heard or that I've heard in like this month or whatever. But you know, it still isn't like that bad. Of course, it's got its own, you know, appeal to it, and it's not really like my thing. It's not the style of K-pop or anything like that I absolutely love. But that doesn't mean it's a bad song. I like it. I like it. I do. So yeah, I don't know. There you go. That's my, you know, first impression, my initial thoughts. But we're gonna be back in just 1 second with my final review once I watch and listen to this a little bit more. Alright guys, let's finish it off with my final review. And first off, like I did mention in the first comments that I made on the reaction portion of the video, that I do feel that this song and music video has a little bit of that GFriend feel to it. And that's not specifically a, you know, super bad thing, right? Like you take a look at like specifically like the wardrobe that they you know, dress the girls in for this music video. That's kind of a little bit maybe possibly, you know, GFriend, although this is not specifically like a style that is exclusive to that group. But at the moment, GFriend is making that whole thing and sound you know, popular, and they are, you know, killing it for a rookie group. So we're just going to kind of associate that with them. You know, a little teeny tiny bit of the music too is a little bit of that GFriend feel to it a little bit. But the only thing that's kind of lacking as far as in the music department is it just kind of lacks like that the punch, that impact that GFriend does with their music. So, it's like, they're trying to take some elements, but like not be as, it just lacks that kind of impact that GFriend does. But overall, it's not really like a super terrible bad kind of idea business wise, or to release a song that has some elements, or to try and cash in on that GFriend success by pulling a little bit of influence, and giving a little bit of a faint feel that GFriend is, that you're watching a music video or listening to a GFriend song. So it's not really bad. Like I said, it's kind of smart to kind of exploit that and hopefully maybe get some fans, because this is only their second release that they've ever made for the promotion for their second mini album ever. So it does make sense that they're trying to do whatever they possibly can to get some attention for this group. And like I said, with it being their second release, this is actually a pretty good release. Just in general, it's a solid song, even though it is kind of like your typical, cute styled girl group song, just kind of released during the warm months of the year. It's kind of it's pretty typical and standard, but it doesn't mean that it's not good, of course, because you can release the stuff that is in that normal trend and follows the trend, and it can still be a pretty decent song. So it's good, and for groups that have just started, especially if they're not from bigger companies, you really do tend to see groups to go with stuff that's like, in that, you see them start out with this concept, and then 3 songs or a couple releases later they move on to something different. There's a progression that you see as groups go on in their career, and you're just going with something that's familiar to the majority of K-pop fans, who are, when they listen to a brand new group that just debuted, this is kind of what they're expecting to hear or whatever. And then, you build your fan base from there. And then once you get to a place that the company is comfortable with, then you can, evolve a little bit or a lot and see how it goes from there. So, that's, that's just kind of the way that it's going right now. And the number one thing to take away from this, though, is that they have not gotten worse since their debut, which of course is very, very important. Every time that you release, or that a group releases a song, anybody makes music, they want to be better than their last, because you would think that you would take in the skill, or that you've learned more skills, you've practiced more, you've learned more things between your first song and your second song. And I don't distinctly remember what their last song was particularly like, but I mean, I think that at least the music video for this one is definitely much better produced, and looks a lot more, I don't know, professional as opposed to like amateur. But I could be totally wrong as to what I'm remembering. I most likely am, but it's good. They're not going anywhere super fast, I don't think, but they're actually headed in a direction where they're improving. And that's basically all you can really ask for from a group, whether or not they're from a big company or a small company. Expectations are going to be different for those groups, but at the end of the day, if they're consistently releasing good music that is better than their last, then I can't say anything bad about that. I can't say that is that they're doing anything wrong either. So overall, this song isn't really my kind of thing. I don't particularly like it so much. And I definitely, as far as that whole lacking impact part, like GFriend, it doesn't really hit so hard. I mean, regardless of what the genre is, it doesn't have that like impact that makes me kind of like feel it and get into it and dig the song. So it's not my favorite, but I definitely do think that for what it is a pretty good song. I can't really say anything that's bad about it. So that is very, very good for the company and the group. So that is my review. I want to know what you thought of this song. Let me know down in the comments below or over on social media. So before you go, if this is the first time here, do not forget to subscribe. I would super appreciate that. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Group is really good, and I like it a lot. I'm not really so sure that they're going to be doing anything to go big places, and that kind of comes down to the fact that they're more basically, and that basically more has to do with the fact that they're from a small company as opposed to a large company. So they're just not going to have the, the resources and other stuff like